Top of the morning, y'all. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Come on in the room, y'all. Come on in the room. Baby, come on in the room. Listen, we got to talk. We got to have some conversations today. And I need to see how y'all doing. We're 2 days out from, we're 2 days out from the election. So I'm on here wanting to do my due diligence to check in with you guys to see how everybody is doing. Just chime in when you tap in and give us a pulse check on how you feeling this morning. I see you, Giselle, Zeline. I see you. I'm using a different app for this. I was trying to log into YouTube to go live, but for some reason it was just giving me some issues. So I'm on a different app, so I can't. The names are actually on the side of the screen. So if I can't see your name, it's because it's in white and it's just kind of odd. Y'all know I'm colorblind. What's up, Angela, KR, Robin, Nelson, Latrice? Good morning, and I'm devastated, embarrassed to be an American, still upset, feeling much better than yesterday. That's a good place to be. And again, I wanted to check in. I'm feeling confusion. I definitely understand that. What's up, DeLucy Lifestyle? How you doing, DMV? Hey. What's going on? What's going on? So y'all, I'm down here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And what's up, Virgin Islands? I see you. And so I knew that, again, I just wanted a getaway while the election was happening and just to kind of like clear my mind and get some clarity on what I felt like God was calling me to do. And I'm so glad I came here because it has really been eye-opening for me, okay? And I definitely hear you, Giselle. I definitely feel like, yesterday I did, kind of go down a rabbit hole on social media, just looking at all the posts and seeing people's reactions. And, after a certain point, I saw a post by Bethany Frankel, and it was on page 6, and she was talking about, all the things that Kamala did wrong. And I was just thinking to myself, I felt this rage of fury coming over me. And I was getting to this point where I was literally about to make an entire video about this. I'm not even gonna call her what I wanted to call her right now. But in my mind, it was the audacity of someone who sits in her crypt of privilege to even take this opportunity to condemn any of her efforts and what she had to do with about 100 days. It just infuriated me. And at that point in time, I knew I needed to put down social media. So I thought to myself, I said, God, how do I move forward on the channel? What messages do you want me to convey? How can I help the most people? How can I be of service? How can I be a catalyst, or how can I be a safe space? How do I show up for my people? How do I take this new road and not fall into the pitfalls of responding to negativity? And so I really wanted to touch base with you all today to really dive into that, okay? Because you are right. She ran a fantastic campaign in 3 months, and she did everything. I'm sure she did. She went above and beyond. And so I think what we need to do is, while we're in this period for a lot of us, we are in a space of mourning. For a lot of us, we are in a space of grief. For a lot of us, we are in a space of anger. For a lot of us, we are in a space of confusion. For a lot of us, we are in a space of fear. We think about the things that our ancestors fought for, and to know that there is the potential for some of those things to begin rolling back is really devastating. We saw that with Roe versus Wade, and I'm sure there will be plenty more things that pop up specifically on your newsfeed. And so I really want to talk to you guys today about, while you're in this space of being very sensitive, very emotional about what's happened, I want you to be gentle with yourself. I want you to be kind to yourself. I want you to understand that what you're feeling is absolutely natural. I've seen people try to diminish everyone's feelings by saying, oh, it's not that serious. I saw it in the comments yesterday on the video. And I want you to understand that I want you to block all that out. I need you to block it out. I need you to block out every bit of noise right now, because what you are feeling is valid, okay? What you're feeling is valid. And the people that will be feeling the most are going to be people who are in marginalized communities, are Black women. I cannot express my sorrow, my overwhelming grief at how this country has continued to not show up for you. And I don't know I don't even know how much more I can convey on that. So what I want to encourage you guys is in this space that we're in today, while you're taking your time to feel how you feel, I'm not going to tell you not to feel that. But what I am going to suggest, that while you're in this feeling space, is that you limit your interactions on social media. And I know that can be difficult because a lot of us want to know what's going on. We want to know, like, okay, what is this person saying about this? What's the latest update? What's happening? What is the Department of Justice doing? When did the mass deportations begin? And I want you to start to realize that we have to protect our own peace. Okay? We have to protect our own peace. We are now in charge of that individually, because the system is not set up for us. So what do? We're going to continue this conversation as we move forward this year. We're going to be talking about how we build community, how we begin to gain more wealth, how we begin to obtain dual citizenship. I have someone coming on the channel next Tuesday to discuss dual citizenship, purchasing property outside of the country. I have someone coming on the following day to discuss their experience with doing that. Then the next week, I will have someone else coming on with a similar experience. So we're going to be doing the work. Okay? We're going to be doing the work. And Giselle, what's trending on X is exactly why I don't have X any longer. I don't have Twitter. I deactivated my Twitter probably about 2 months ago, maybe, when I just had enough. There's nothing that Elon Musk can do for me that I want. So I could not support that platform. And I think that's another thing that I'm going to suggest is the first thing that I'm going to suggest for you is to get off of these platforms, or limit your interactions on these platforms that continue to trigger you. Okay? If it's triggering you, and I don't care who it is, either mute or unfollow. Okay? Anybody can get it at this point. Because the truth of the matter is that your mental health and well-being are what matter most right now. Okay? And the first thing that you can do, that you can control, is to limit your interactions with social media. Especially right now. Right, yours truly. It's time to take a break from social media, preserve your peace of mind. We have to do that. Because there's going to be some things that we need to focus on moving forward, and those are going to be the things within our control, right? And that's one of those things. All right? So I think that will help a lot of us as we are in this mourning period, because I want you to understand that a lot of us are grieving the things that we believed or we hoped for this country. We saw a vision of this country and we thought we were headed in that direction with the rest of the world, mind you. You know, when you go out of country and you go to some of these other places, there are a lot of places, not all, but there are a lot of places out there where, you know, we can feel celebrated and we can feel safe. I'm just gonna let you know I'm here, and it's so wild being in Mexico right now because it's just wild. But I feel safer here in this little area. I'm staying, you know, in this little, like, I mean, it's a pretty well populated area. My hotel has great security. I just feel safe. I just feel mentally safe, and I literally about every other block that I walk, I have someone trying to sell me some stuff, okay? And I'm like, I mean, God bless you on your journey, but that's not my ministry, right? But aside from that, I just feel like there are opportunities and there are options elsewhere. Should you feel that you're not getting what you need in the United States? And for a lot of us, that means, well, I don't want to leave my family. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But I'm letting you know that maybe you don't have to leave them permanently. Maybe you can have your place of peace someplace else in another country when you need it, if you have that opportunity. Or at least just having the experience of visiting and discovering those places, okay? The other thing that I want you guys to start doing is, when you begin to feel those feelings of fear, apprehension, or when you do feel triggered, the first thing that I did this morning, and I posted it in the community tab, was I wrote out my list of 5 things that I'm grateful for. And I know for a lot of people, it may seem like a small thing. It may seem like that's not going to help me with how I feel right now. But it's very difficult to feel fear, apprehension in a space of gratitude, right? So at least for that little while you're focused on that gratitude list, especially when you first wake up, because the inclination when you first wake up is going to be to pick up your phone and go to social media. I know it. We all do it. You know, for me, you know, I was doing it because it was part of my job to know what was going on, right? But as I expand what my job is, okay, and this is me expanding that, what I now recognize and I realize is my first commitment has to be to me, okay? That first commitment when I wake up in the morning has to be to myself, and that goes for you too. Despite whatever is going on in the world, there's got to be something that you can feel thankful for right now. There's got to be something. You have air to breathe. One of the things that I used to ask myself when I was in the most destitute place of my life, I would ask myself, am I okay right now? Am I safe right now? Do I have at least food to eat right now? Do I have shelter right now? Do I feel, am I in a safe space? Am I in immediate danger right now? And if the answer to that question was no, I was doing good. I'm doing good. Okay? And I know, again, some of these things that I'm suggesting to you may seem either trivial, it may seem like an overreaction to some people, because like I said, I saw people in the comments talking about how people were overreacting. And I'm thinking to myself, for those people who are saying that, you cannot lose. I mean, losing empathy, it seems like, is something that a lot of people are doing right now. Whether or not it's because their candidate won or not, I don't know. But what I do know is that you have a responsibility to yourself. That's first and foremost. So I want you guys to really center your thoughts on the things that you can control. All right? Center your thoughts on the things that you can control. And what I realized yesterday when I was looking at, you know, when I was looking at this thing with Bethany, and it was just enraging me, and I said to myself, her opinion doesn't really affect me. It doesn't. Her opinion actually means very little to me, only if I let it. Okay? And that's honestly what a lot of what you're going to see on social media are opinions. You're going to see people's fears. You're going to see a lot of posting about what went wrong. You're going to see a lot of posting about what could happen, what may happen. But what I want you guys to focus on, especially today, is what's in front of you right at this moment. Because that is all that you can control. And once you get a handle on what is happening in this moment, then you can begin thinking about the next moment. For me, I have chosen to take whatever fears that I do have, because I do have them. I woke up this morning with a little bit of panic. I ain't gonna even lie to you, because I realized I gotta go back. I gotta go back home, right? But then I had to realize, okay, there's something here for me to be thankful for. And I looked outside, I looked at the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day here in Puerto Vallarta. It's hot. The weather is beautiful. I'm about to go get a workout in. But again, my obligation to myself is to show up here and to check in with my people, because I just feel like we all need some encouragement right now. And so however I can do that, that's what I'm here to do. So I want your next step after you have dealt with where you are, okay? And wherever you are right now is perfectly fine, and it's perfectly normal. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Feel what you need to feel, okay? If that takes you all of this week, all this weekend, if it takes you another month to figure out and process what you need to process, do that. Take it. Don't allow anybody to pressure you into feeling anything, not even me, okay? But if you can, when you have that moment and you feel like you're at your darkest, I need you to get out that gratitude list, okay? I need you to get out that list. I need you to add something else to it. I need you to translate that fear into an action that you have control over, okay? Now, when you take that fear and you channel it into that action that you actually have control over, now you got something to do. And when you got something to do, action is gonna automatically trump those thoughts that you're thinking. Don't let your thoughts think you, okay? Don't let your emotions emotion you for long, right? Feel the feeling, and then you gotta let it pass at some point. Because life is for the living. And last I look, as long as you here, we not dead yet. So we got work to do. And if this election has taught us nothing, it is that we have work to do. And I think something that you're going to see a lot of growth birthed out of this entire mess, especially in the Black community, especially in marginalized communities. We have no choice but to grow at this point, because there's no comfort anymore. Okay? I can be real. We can be real about that. As positive as I can be, I'm also going to keep it real. The comfort, it probably doesn't exist anymore for a lot of us. The perceived comfort, because I don't think we ever really had it, right? So now that you are uncomfortable, that is usually the time when most people take the biggest action. So in your discomfort, you are going to have to do something different than what you used to do. We can't just do what we did no more. And I talked about this yesterday. We can't just be what we were. This moment is going to require growth. So while you're feeling what you're feeling, and feel it as much as you need to, at some point, you're going to have to level up. You're going to have to rise to meet this occasion. I don't know what that's going to require of you, but I'm showing up for what it's requiring of me. And as long as I have breath in my body, I'm going to encourage you to move as we need to do and move accordingly. Now, I don't know if that's going to be moving out of the country. I don't know if that's going to be moving within the country, within the environment, the way that it's set up, knowing that it's never really been set up for us. But now we can educate each other on how to move within it in this new space that we're in. Because that's the only choice that we have, if you choose to stay. And then for those who want to investigate other options, this is what we're here for, okay? We are going to be here to help you get to those other places when you need to, right? You want to get to South Africa, you want to get to Cape Town, you want to get to Tanzania, you want to get to Zanzibar, you want to get to Ghana. We are setting all of that up right now. Like honestly, the work that I'm trying to do behind the scenes to make all of this happen. And I've never been more motivated, because I want people to see that you don't have to just settle for what's being given to us. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. So I really just wanted to get on here and check in with y'all and just get a pulse check for how you were doing, but also give you an idea or a glimpse as to where I'm at with all of this, what I'm doing to move forward. Not that you have to follow my example, but I just want to let you know that there are things that you can do for yourself to help yourself in this time period. But I also want to let you know that it's okay to feel what you're feeling right now. And I think I said this yesterday too. A lot of us probably needed a wake-up call to really understand what it is that we're dealing with in America. I think that the veil has been lifted for a lot of us. I think that the blinds have been opened. I think we can clearly see what we're dealing with. I think that we are now feeling the sadness, fear, apprehension over what we always knew was there becoming a lot more prevalent. And that's just the reality. Okay? Right, Latoya, no more complacency. So we cannot be complacent at this point. We don't have the option to be complacent at this point. And I said this yesterday as well. One of the biggest things that I think that you can do for yourself is to establish a small community, a large community, whatever kind of community that you have. I want you to think about ways that you can all check in with each other on a continuous basis. And I'm not just talking about a group chat, okay? Ways that you can build together, whether it is, like I said, investing in property, real estate out of the country, whether it's investing within the country that you're already in, whatever it may mean, right? Whether you guys are talking about how, okay, we're looking at the stock market right now. Okay, what are we seeing with the stock market now that we are in this new place that we did not want to be? How do we adjust so that we can now be a part? So that we can get the money as well and do what we need to do to either leave or figure out ways to build bigger communities. It's going to become painfully aware that you need to do that. Developing systems for communication with each other that may be non-traditional so that we can spread awareness and messaging to provide spaces of security and safety for our families and loved ones. Those are going to be the things that we need to start focusing on as well. And the other thing that I wanted to convey to you is people are going to be coping with this in very different ways. And I would say to you to try not to judge people on the ways that they try to cope with this, because they may not be the ways that seem normal to you, but for them to get through this period, this initial period, you may see people withdraw. You may see people diving further into, their favorite sitcoms or things that bring them joy, or just acting in ways that are not necessarily in accordance with the person that you've always thought that you knew. Allow them a little bit of grace in this time, because a lot of people may be just taking some time to recenter themselves or to make them feel some semblance of the normal that they used to feel. Don't blame them. Try not to judge them. Just try to be a soft place to land for those people. because at the end of the day, they will still need you. Okay? So if you see people, talking about, still talking about, and we'll talk about reality TV. Don't get me wrong. There's still elements of things in pop culture that we'll talk about. Don't be upset with those people for leaning into something that feels familiar. Because right now, for a lot of people, that may be all they have. Allow them that opportunity. But on your end, continue to focus on what you're building. Because now is the time to build. So show some grace where necessary. Try to be as empathetic as possible, as much as you can honestly muster with yourself while you're in the midst of your own grief, emotions, fears, anxiety. But also, exactly, Dr. Tompkins, we can start to become excited about the new ways that we're going to be showing up for ourselves and for our community. I personally am fired up. I feel like I'm just trying to let God use me in whatever way possible. I'm not going to say I'm going to be perfect, but I'm focused on my focus. So, grant me the grace as well as I try to maneuver through this new space, because it is going to be new for me. And I don't expect for everybody to jump on the bandwagon initially, but we will build. Okay? That's going to happen regardless, because I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the work. So we're going to take this situation. Exactly, Riddler. We're going to take this situation and we're going to turn it and we're going to flip it for ourselves. Some way, somehow, we will. Okay? I just wanted to come on here and chat with y'all about that today. Like I said, we've got some exciting things happening next Tuesday, I think, at I got to figure out the time. We're going to have someone on for a small group trip that we're doing in, I think, April. We'll have somebody on the following day as well. It's going to be great information for people who want to know more about dual citizenship, like you've been asking. Purchasing real estate in South Africa. I'm going to try next at some point to get someone from Ghana on the line with us as well, so that we can understand what that process is like as well. Someone from Tanzania as well, because we have a trip coming up to Tanzania later in the year in 2025. So I just want to let you guys know what's coming. And just be patient with me as I navigate this new terrain, because I'm just going to be every day following what I feel like God is telling me to do. And that may not always be, what Mia, Giselle, and Heather Gay are doing. It may not be, okay? It may not be what Bambi and Scrappy got going on every day. It may not be that. So just understand what's about to happen. All right? Listen, thank you so much for everybody in your comments. I appreciate y'all. If you have suggestions on things that you want, if you have some requests on specific video types, I am totally open to any and everything. Please drop them in the comments. If you can, like this video, share it with somebody who you think needs it. At this point in time, I'm just trying to be a vessel, and I'm just trying to let God lead me to the next thing. And again, I'm not striving for perfection, so I'm not going to be perfect. I'm just striving to take the next step that feels right. So with that being said, expect more lives like these, because I think people need to hear something that feels good, but something that feels real. So as best I can, that's what I'm gonna continue to do. So with that being said, you can mail NYC reviews. Yes, you can also email me as well. bookings at djrichieskye.com or richieskye@gmail.com. Bookings will go to my assistant because she's really good at reminding me of things. My email can turn into like a little black hole sometimes. So either way is your preference. All information is in the description of this video. And I'll post this trip vlog for Puerto Vallarta, so I can also, I gotta let y'all know about this place. This place is absolutely amazing and stunning. But you'll get a lot more of those as well on this channel because I just kind of feel like I want to share as much as I can. So with that being said, I love y'all. Enjoy your day. I'm gonna get out, go to the gym, try to get out to the beach early a little bit and get a little work done, a little editing, and I will touch base with y'all in a little bit. All right, love y'all.